We good? All right. I want to open up with, first of all, our thoughts and prayers out to Rick Schaefer, longtime Razorback, and his recovery. And I want to wish him the best and his family the best. But I'm just kind of recapping Ole Miss. You know, I can't speak from the past. I've only played in Little Rock one time, but it was awesome. It was incredible, and we didn't get the results that our fans deserved. But you know, the environment was incredible. From the time we drove down Markham and exited was incredible. So thank you, Little Rock. Thank you to our great fans that showed up and you showed out. We challenged our kids, we challenged our staff to get the fans in the game, and more importantly, keep them in the game. And you were in the game, and your effort and your energy was inspiring. And again, thank you. We didn't get the results we wanted, but we've done a lot of good things, but we hadn't done enough good things. And credit Ole Miss. They're a good team. They found a way, and we've got to find a way. I thought offensively, we've challenged our guys to start fast. It was the first time in a while that we did that. I thought Ty played really well. The grit, the toughness that he plays with is contagious to our entire football team, and he provides a huge spark for us. But after watching the film, I did not think we executed offensively as well as the stats showed. Was disappointed in especially early second half, and missing a block here and a block there could have resulted in another big play or two. We left a lot on the field. We've got to correct that. But we did have 15 explosive plays, and when you do have that many explosive plays, you cover up things and good things happen. And I thought we were able to run the football, especially early on. Second half, we couldn't get the ball in the end zone. And that was disappointing. We had to settle for 2 field goals and 2 punts. And against an explosive offense like that, it's hard to do that and trade field goals for touchdowns. Defensively, I thought we played well in the first half. We gave up 1 drive right before half. That was disappointing, but with the explosiveness of their offense and the experience that they have at quarterback and wide receiver, we had to continue to change our looks up to try to keep him off balance and try to get him off his spot. And we did get him off his spot. He made us pay. They had 13 explosive plays, and obviously the quarterback run game was, whether it was a design quarterback draw or just letting everybody drop and then pulling the ball down and go and finding a rush lane, you know. And we struggled to stay with our wide receivers across the middle. We only created 1 turnover. We were very poor on third down efficiency. But with all that being said, and if you ask me right now, with 97 yards to go, what unit you want to have on the field, I want to put our defense on the field. And I want that group on the field. We just didn't make the plays to get it done. And we couldn't match TDs with field goals. And we needed a stop. We needed 1 stop, we needed 1 touchdown, and we were unable to do it. But special teams, I can't say enough good about Jack Lindsay and Connor Limpert and Jordan Silver, given the weather conditions and the ability to get the ball down and get the ball through the uprights was huge. These units continue to improve, which is a plus as this football team continues to grow. I'm excited to come home, homecoming. We got a lot of similarities in the two seasons, and what we're going through. They're better than their record. I've known Coach Montgomery for quite some time, and I think he's an outstanding coach, without a doubt. He's been a part of some extremely explosive offenses. He's an offensive mind. He's on cutting edge. He's been there 4 years, and we know we'll have our work cut out for us. But again, as I said, I'm excited to come home. It's homecoming. It's the first of 3 straight games here in Fayetteville, which we're excited about. And with that, I'll open up for questions.
Raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you.
Coach, I was hoping you could update the guys who were in your story, the running backs, and Sosa, everybody.
Yeah, with us being on fall break right now, so we're a little off schedule as far as knowing exactly where we are with everything. Debwa Whaley is out. He's having surgery today on his ankle. We hope to get him back sometime in November. We anticipate Rakeem being back and playing. Ty, we'll know more today on Ty. Sosa, we anticipate Sosa being back. TJ Hammonds, we anticipate TJ being back. So that's kind of where we're at.
During the TV broadcast, it was mentioned several times that Connor has been taking the majority of the number 2 reps. I was curious when that switch was made, and also what led to Cole being the first guy in if Connor's been taking the number 2 reps. Yeah,
well, what we've done and how we do it is we mix it up, and obviously they've both been taking a lot of number 2 reps, and we kind of switch it in and out. I think you've watched this the way we practice and the way we do our second rack of plays, and we'll let one guy get one series, one guy get the next series, and so, you know, he hasn't been taking the majority. He hasn't been taking the majority of them. I mean, he's been taking a lot of them, but not the majority of them.
Chad, is in concussion protocol, and if he can't go early in the week, who would take the number 1 reps? Should it be?
Yeah.
What would you do there?
Yeah. Again, we'll know more on Ty today and where we're at with him, and then, you know, from there we'll just reevaluate it and see how it goes from there.
You mentioned that you know Coach Montgomery. Can you talk about, y'all had like 3 shootout games it looked like the last 3 years, and why is he on the cutting edge? What do they do?
Yeah, they put a lot of conflict on you as far as stretching you vertically and horizontally. A lot of the RPOs, they're wide splits at wide receivers. You know, trying to do some things that you know, count the box. This is what, you know, most everybody does, count the box. And if you give the right numbers, they want to run the football. I mean, that's, if you go back and look at his pass, he wants to run the football. And they're a downhill run team. They do a great job with their gap scheme game. And he's you know, he's been around some great offensive minds.
With the running game on Saturday when Debwa and Rakeem went out, how did you think that executed, and was Malik there, or was it just?
No, Malik didn't travel. And I thought that, I did not think that we executed as well as we did earlier in the game. And I thought we had some runs at times, and we just couldn't get it out. And then when there wasn't anything there, you know, Chase made a play and got outside. So it wasn't as consistent as it was early in the first half.
What did you see from their quarterbacks the other night? It looks like Boomer started the last couple games, but some other guys have been playing. What do you make of that?
Yeah, he's done, you know, they do a good job of bringing guys in and out. You know, Boomer does come in and actually started against Houston and started last week. They'll bring in Chad. He also comes in some of the short yardage game. President comes in, and so I know Luke has had an injury, so which has kind of allowed Seth to come in, and I think you know, I think Seth's done a great job. I mean, when he got his first start against Houston, I thought he did some really good things, and got a great future ahead for him.
Do you think that the War Memorial turf itself played a role in any of those injuries?
No, I don't think that at all. You know, I think that you know, it's part of football. I mean, really it is, and I think that it was a physical football game all across the board, and so
Coach, the transfer portal opens today. What's your thoughts on that new rule, and how do you guys plan to look at that? You just scroll through and look at options, or?
Yeah, I think you know, it'll open up today, and you know, guys can come in and state that they want to leave the program, and when they do, they put their name in the portal, and which opens them up. It frees up a spot for the place that they leave, starting in January. So you know, their grant and aid is finished in January. Yeah, I think everybody in the country will look at it and see what's out there. You know, I think that it's you know, again, my opinion is you know, I don't know if this is what's right for college football, but that's the way we're going, and we're gonna play by the rules.
with Devwall having surgery, do you envision Malik maybe getting some more reps going forward? And also, what is it specifically that he needs to improve to get on the field?
Yeah, just the overall knowledge of the offense, the pass protection is probably more than anything in this offense that the running backs have to pass protect. And it's not that it's overly complicated, but it requires you got to be on your game. And Malik's done a good job. He's gotten better. He needs to just continue to progress, getting better. Like we do all our second team reps, like we talked about with the quarterbacks. He's gotten a lot of second team reps. I mean, he gets in and gets his fair share of reps to keep him on. And traveling, you can only travel 70, so you have to be strategic in who you travel. And we felt like that, we're traveling 4 running backs. Those were the 4 that we wanted to travel this week.
What's the University of Tulsa mean to you, considering that's where you got your start in college coaching?
Yeah, a very special place. Obviously, with my opportunity to get into college football there, a lot of great people, great friends. My short time there wasn't there very long, but to know that what that city and the people there and the university have done and have meant to me and to where I am today, I wouldn't be here today without them.
Chad, the deep game to the wideouts, how important is it, do you think, maybe to get more of that going to help kind of round out your offense?
Well, it's interesting. We've talked about that yesterday. We always talk about wanting to stretch the field vertically, and we've got to be able to do that. You've got to be able to hold up and pass protection to be able to get your receivers down the field to do that. We've always felt like, going way back, as far back as we want to go, we always feel like, we want to average 3 shots a quarter, which gives you 12 shots down the field a game that you call. We're not there right now, but that's where we're going to be. So that's absolutely to get us and to continue to put this offense on track. We're going to need to get more into that, but whether that's this year, next year, whenever it may be.
On Ryan, did you find out what happened on that situation and just kind of the overall tone of that game there? It was kind of chippy, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought that there was some things that we did that were not what we're about, and was disappointed. But I think that it was an intense game. I think that all across the board from the start. And so we'll continue to keep getting better in all areas.
Santos, it seems like several times he's tried to shoulder tackle. Have y'all had conversations with him about trying to wrap up more? And then also the young guys there, Fouché and Miles Mason, are they still progressing? And do you think they would maybe get some more reps going forward as well?
Well, I think with Santos, I mean, obviously he's as critical on himself as anybody we have in our program. I mean, this this university and this football program and means so much to this young man. He's a great leader for our football program, and he takes every rep. He's what you want your young guys to watch how they practice. It's to watch Santos practice. This guy's into it, and he knows he gets down on himself, and that's the one area he's got to get better at. He's got to play the next play, and he understands coming to balance and leveraging the football. And as he and I were talking yesterday, he said, "Coach, I got to keep getting better," and that's the message, and you love that in a player, and he understands that. So with Joe and Miles, they are coming on. They're getting better. But in a game like that, experience means a lot. But these guys are coming on. They're going to be great football players for us.
With Pulley, is there any carryover penalty? Does he have to sit out a half or anything because of the ejection?
Yes.
And if so, then who do you got kind of go with the corner for that?
Well, we'll go back and reevaluate who will go in there. Obviously, Buster will be a player that's. I thought Jaquez played his best ball game last week. He's getting better, and so Buster will be a player that'll get in there and and see significant reps.
Would Kevin Richardson possibly be a fill?
Yeah, possibly. You know, he's more at the nickel right now, but we could slide him out there. We'll see how that goes this week.
I know you faced two really good offenses, two really good sets of wide receivers, but has it been a little disappointing with the middle of the field the way it has been those two games? And how do you correct that moving forward against an offense that one or the other?
Yeah, it has. It's been very disappointing, you know, but, you know, it's not because of lack of effort. These guys are giving great effort. And, you know, we had just a missed assignment here, and a guy, you know, plays at inside leverage and should have stayed outside leverage. I mean, when you have missed assignments like that, against the caliber of receivers that they have, it's not a 5-yard gain. It turns into a 25-yard gain. And so we've got to correct. Everything is fixable, but we've got to correct some errors that we're making in some very inopportune times.
And Chad, I may be confused here. It wouldn't be the first time, but I reached out to the SEC office yesterday and asked them specifically if Foley would face any kind of like have to sit out the first half of the next game. And they said no. They said he was ejected for unsportsmanlike conduct, not for fighting, so he wouldn't have to sit out. Have you got a different interpretation?
I'll follow back up on it. That was just from what I gathered before I came out.
Well, assuming he doesn't have to sit out, how big a deal is that?
It's a big deal.
I mean, so you still started, right? If he didn't have to sit out.
I'm not going to address that.
Okay, well, I didn't know if you meant you were going to sit him down for a half as a punishment, or the SEC. I don't think was going to do that.
We haven't gotten a final word in on that. I do know that, and we've talked to Steve Shaw. So the final word has not come out of the SEC office. Now your interpretation is exactly correct, but the final word hasn't. We did get a follow back up though that they'll get back in and review all personal fouls.
Okay.
And so.
Well, speaking of the SEC office, the second play of the game, it looked to me like the definition of offensive pass interference. Are you getting any answers from the league office? Because it seems like there's a few of these a game.
Yeah, I mean, we turn in, like I said, we talk about it each week. We turn in plays and we get an interpretation from our league office, and you know, we just want the interpretation, and that way we know how to you know, we coach our players and what is and what isn't, and so yes.
Was that one of them this week?
It might have been. I think so.
Any further word on Ty? And just, you know, there was a targeting call. There were some hard hits on him. Did you feel like anything was out of bounds with him?
No, I don't. I don't. I think it was a physical football game, and I think that it was a clean hit. And you know, I did not see anything that would lead to any concern at all when it comes to that.
You were in the league when Tulsa won 10 games, and the next year they lose 10 games, and they're struggling this year, having a lot of tough losses. But what have you seen from how they kind of evolved from a 10 win to a 10 loss team that's 1-5 now?
Well, you know, it's the difference between winning and losing is not very much, and I know they've been dealt with some injuries, and were dealt with injuries a year ago. You know, I know those guys are well coached. I know they're working extremely hard. The players believe in what they're doing, but you know, they'll continue to get better. They've been in some games this year. They should have won. They should have won some games that they lost. I mean, they're better than their record, as I mentioned earlier, and it was the same way last year.
Yeah, Coach, I was curious about Jordan Jones. He doesn't have a catch the last 2 games, minimal production, previous 3 weeks, I think. So what do you got to do to get him going, and what's his status? How available is he?
Well, I think that, you know, as the offense continues to develop, I mean, we're running the football pretty effective too. And, you know, we try to take what defenses give us. And, you know, sometimes that's just kind of part of it. You just you know, some guys are going to have the hot hand and some guys aren't. And this past week, and you know, we're running the football. And, you know, the week before we were doing a decent job of mixing it up, running the ball, and you know, we're just trying to pick and choose, and you know, where the ball's got to get to, and so we'll just keep working and keep getting better.
Coach, if Ty Story's not available this week, is there any chance to see some of the freshmen in some playing time at quarterback?
Yes.
Any more questions? Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.